What's up guys, Jacob Ober here. Welcome to my second ever movie review, the first one being 7 months ago when I reviewed Avengers Infinity War. I thought it'd be a good time now to kind of restart this channel as I just got an advanced screening of Bumblebee, a film directed by Travis Knight starring Hailee Steinfeld and John Cena in leading roles. So, I have been a Transformers fan for a very long time. Ever since I was 7 years old and I saw the first film, I've fallen in love with Transformers. That was 11 years ago, and it's been 5 movies later, and the franchise definitely has lost a lot of its steam. The fourth and the fifth movies, in my opinion, were just not that as entertaining as the previous 3. Now, a lot of people hate all 5 of the films, but I liked the first 3 films. I liked Sam Witwiggy's character. I liked everything about how that story arc played out. But it was definitely time for a change. The whole Mark Wahlberg thing did not really work out for me very well. So the franchise took a new direction, and they focused on a prequel film to the first 5 films of the franchise, and that film is Bumblebee. This movie, definitely, you could tell by the trailers going into this film that it was going to have a different tone to the previous 5 Transformers films, and it definitely did. It was a much more light-hearted film, a movie more family-friendly, I'd say, that kind of focuses a lot more on the characters than all of the effects-driven action that we saw in Michael Bay's 5 Transformers films. And really, I mean, this movie, it's pretty similar to the first Transformers film, except for the fact that it's on a much smaller scale. The basic premise of the first Transformers movie was about a boy in his car, Sam Witwicky and Bumblebee. They take that premise and they change it to a girl in her car, and they put it in a smaller setting. This entire film takes place in a small town called Brighton Falls in California. So the setting is a lot different from the previous 5 Transformers films. The previous 5 kind of spanned pretty much the entire globe. I mean, we saw them all across the United States, all across the world. We saw them in Egypt, we saw them in Chicago, we saw them in China and in England. I mean, we saw them all over the place. But this one is a much more concentrated film, and it's definitely doesn't have as much explosions as you're accustomed to seeing in a Transformers film. It does have plenty of action, however, and a lot of it was very entertaining, and I really liked where they went with this film, being able to actually have us care about what happens to these characters, because in the previous 5 films, and really for the last 2 or so, you really didn't care a whole lot about the characters. I hated Mark Wahlberg's character in the previous 2 Transformers films. I hated everything to do with that and those human story arcs. I mean, I didn't care about it. I kind of cared about Sam, and that's why I like the first 3 films the most. But Hailee Steinfeld's character is the most relatable human character we've had in the entire franchise, and that's what makes this movie so good. The relationship between Charlie Watson, which is played by Hailee Steinfeld, and Bumblebee is really what makes this movie so good. It's relatable. It's convincing. It makes you care, and it makes the moments at the end, the action, it makes it all matter. And that's kind of what the previous 5 are lacking. I mean, there really wasn't any sort of reason to care about the final battles because it was just a bunch of explosions that you knew that all that was coming, and the film never gave you a reason to care about it. In this film, you know that the action-packed finale is coming, but it actually gives you a reason to care about what's about to happen. And even though the result was predictable, I mean, it really hit home with me, and I was really convinced after the film. I thought it was a really good movie. The characters, especially, I mean, the human characters, they all had personality. Bumblebee had a wonderful personality. The Decepticons in the film, they didn't have a whole lot of screen time, but, I mean, you knew their purpose, you knew exactly what they were trying to do, and they definitely served that purpose very well. Overall, I think this is a really good Transformers movie, a movie that will please both the live-action fans of this franchise and the cartoon fans from the 1980s, but overall, I mean, I really don't have any negative things to say about it. The only thing I would say that's even close to negative is that Bumblebee was really never my favorite film, so it was kind of hard to get really excited over this film. I always loved Optimus Prime the best, and if there is ever an Optimus Prime solo film, you can bet I will be one of the first in line to see that one. And definitely the Optimus Prime scenes in this one, they were the ones where I got really excited for. That's not to say the rest of the movie wasn't excellent, but the Optimus Prime scenes were probably my favorite parts of the movie. But, I mean, the rest of the movie is really awesome as well, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing seeing where they take this franchise in the future. So overall, I think I'm going to give this movie an A-. It's really solid all across the board. I mean, I think the plot was really good. It was easy to follow. I think that even though it was kind of predictable, it was definitely less of a mix-up than the previous plots. I mean, you had a lot of different things being thrown at you in previous Transformers films that were hard to follow. This one is very linear, very easy to follow, and that was definitely an improvement. The acting was really good. I really liked John Cena's performance and Hailee Steinfeld's performance, and obviously the Transformers scenes and the action was also really, really cool as well. So, anyways, guys, so that's my review of Bumblebee, and this movie will come out across the United States on December 21st, so I would definitely recommend you go see it, especially if you are a fan of Transformers. I mean, this is like everything that a Transformers fan has dreamed of. I mean, you have the classic G1 designs, and you have a lot of character-driven story arcs and moments, and I mean, it's just a much better film overall than really any Transformers film we've seen, with maybe the exception of the first one. So, anyways, guys, though, thanks for watching. If you guys are new here, if you like this review, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I'll probably be reviewing more films after this one. The next one on my list, it's not going to be for about a month or so. It's going to be Glass, and I'm only going to really review the films that I really want to see. Maybe I'll start reviewing more films if this channel starts getting popular or something, but until further notice, the next movie I plan on reviewing is Glass, which will be released on January 18th, and obviously we have the Marvel films in the spring, Captain Marvel in March, the Avengers Endgame in April, and then we have the Disney live-action films, and we have Spider-Man Far From Home, which will all be released in the summer, so look forward to those coming up. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. As I said before, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.